still think it's conspiracy? Implantable microchip is set to be released the same time that the vaccine is coming. Thanks for tuning in to Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today's September 19th, 2020. So while everybody's fake grieving over Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying, the 87-year-old woman who's in hell right now. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell y'all, global warming is happening because hell is heating up. That's why the world is getting hotter. Okay, so article number 1 out of my top 10. A DARPA, remember yesterday we talked about DARPA and their DO weapons, and on the Edwards Air Force Base website and on Lockheed Martin's website talking about the DO weapons, directed energy. A DARPA-funded implantable biochip to detect the COVID-19 could hit markets by 2021. Now, Trump ordered 500 million, quote, injectable devices, supposed to be here in January. And they're fast-tracking through the FDA the release of a biometric microchip. The most significant scientific discovery since gravity has been hiding in plain sight for nearly a decade. This is from yesterday. Okay? DARPA. Okay, we're gonna scroll down just for I wanted to show y'all what I highlighted. Okay, look, it worked with the RNA, just like the microchip. Just like the vaccine. Let's see. Once implanted inside the body, human cells are at the mercy of the RNA program. And remember, we all know that the vaccine is going to alter. It's going to alter your RNA. I'm trying to get to where I found this. I don't want to start over because this is just too much to look at. This video over here is wanting to hold it up. Once firmly implanted in the human body, the cells are at the mercy of the RNA program delivery. Remember, we've been talking about it's going to alter your RNA, and they call us conspiracy theorists? This is mainstream news. Okay, here. The only obstacle is its delivery system, which through Moderna claims to be developing separately, is unlikely. I don't know why it went all the way up to the top again. Okay, so y'all stay with me. I got ads popping up. I'm sorry, I'm not computer literate. The only obstacle. Let's find this again. I don't want to start over. It's just too much. It says, let's get to it again. Okay. It's on fast track to receive fast track authorization from the FDA by early 2021. I don't know why it's jumping. I'm going to leave y'all the links to this, but an RNA altering biometric chip is set to hit the same time the vaccination is going to hit. Coincidence? I don't think so. Now wait till you see this. This is article number 2. 5G, 5 industries that the 5G revolution is set to disrupt. Okay? I wanted to show y'all it's going to change the way telemedicine, visiting your doctors on the computer, remote education. This was all planned. This didn't just happen. The transformation of smart factories, connecting the last mile, getting to the unknown reaches of the earth. Okay, Qualcomm View. 2020 is all about the expansion of the 5G nationwide. Okay, the expansion of 5G nationwide. 2020 is all about the expansion of 5G nationwide. And remember, I did that video oh God, I'm drawing a blank, but they installed 5Gs on the tallest summits on mountains. Okay, I did a whole video on that. So it says 5G is all about taking over the nations. All right. Now, when I looked at this right here, the impact of 5G on location technology, and it talks about 5G will track you in real time. Look at this. And then it says the 5th generation of mobile connectivity brings everyone the chance to see the exact routes and up-to-date location information. It may scare you. It may scare you that everyone can track your movements, but you also have the opportunity to connect faster. Oh, don't be concerned you can be tracked everywhere you go. Be happy that you can talk to anybody you want to faster. Okay? And they told us straight out, 2020 is all about the expansion of 5G, and they're going to be able to watch you in real time. And so the biometric chip is going to be in you, and they're going to be able to watch you in real time. So, y'all remember this scene in Minority Report when he's in the mall and he walks past the billboard that greets him by his name? That's what the 5G is going to do. It says it's going to know who you are and where you're at in real time. So if you go to the grocery store, hi, Miss Terry. Article number 3. This is from Bloomberg, and this is in India. But don't think it's not happening here, okay? A brief on data privacy, protection, and surveillance. Y'all don't want to miss any of these top 10 because your mind is going to be blown. After everybody's just looking at a 100-year-old woman dying, their plots are growing quicker, okay? Data governance is a series on the use and abuse of data by private and government entities. The abuse of private data by governments. It examines the many gaps and overlaps within multiple policies and laws that seek to regulate data. Am I a citizen, or have I been reduced to a string of ones and zeros within a database? Do I have control over the number of data points I generate? Do I know who owns and controls my data? Am I a citizen with data rights, or an autonomous generator and consumer of data? Okay, this article is phenomenal. I'm going to leave y'all the link to go watch it because it's too long to get into. But what they're doing with your data, who's getting your data, what they're data mining for. Okay, y'all need to go see this article. I'm already at 8 minutes and I hadn't even started article number 4 yet. So, we are going to be tracked in real time, and 2020 is all about 5G expansion. Okay, article number 4. China has first strike capability to melt the U.S. power grid with electromagnetic pulse weapons. Last week, the EMP Task Force on National and Homeland Security issued a scary report on China's ability to conduct EMP attack on the U.S. The key takeaway of the task force is that China now has super EMP weapons. How do we know if an attack on our power grid system isn't by our own hand, isn't by a DO weapon, a laser weapon, and blamed on China? We've got the same technology. Okay, now, let me show you 2 more things. This is article number 5. This is from 18 hours ago. Pentagon is sending troops to Syria after clashes between the U.S. and Russian military. So it's building up in Syria between us and Russia. We're saying it's a possibility that China could attack our power grid. Article number 6 says China and Russia have weaponized space. Now let's see if this is going to open. So the satellites that are up in space, China and Russia have weaponized it. I don't know why it's not opening. We might just skip and go to the next one. I'll leave y'all the link to it. So now we're being told that we're being watched in real time. China has the power for an EMP attack. We're sending troops to Syria, and China and Russia have weaponized the satellites. Okay, it's not opening. I'm going to have to go to the next one. Article number 7. This is ludicrous. Newt Gingrich questions the George Soros cover-up. Now, we talked about this in the top 10 yesterday, but this is the follow-up that authored by Newt Gingrich. This is his opinion on what happened when they did not want to hear him on Fox News talk about George Soros. It says, Americans can't let Twitter noise overwhelm political reality. I have been watching a truly curious phenomenon over the past few days. It seems there is suddenly a movement in media to silence. Now, this is Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House. It seems there's suddenly a movement in media to silence anyone who speaks out against George Soros, and specifically his funding of radical prosecutors seeking to change the criminal justice system by simply ignoring the crimes. This happened to me personally this week while I was being interviewed on Fox's Outnumbered, when I brought up George Soros' plan to get pro-criminal anti-police prosecutors elected across the country. Two of the show's participants interrupted me and forcefully asserted that George Soros was not involved. Host Harris Faulkner, it seemed, was stunned by the interruptions and did her part to move the show forward after some awkward silence. The next day, she addressed the strange moment during the show and condemned censorship. Immediately after the show, Twitter and other social media went crazy. People were alleging that any criticism of George Soros' political involvement is automatically false or anti-Semitic or both. This is ludicrous. George Soros' plan to elect these prosecutors has been well documented already, and it has nothing to do with his spiritual or ethnic background. Okay, and then he's going to list all the people that George Soros has gotten elected by his money. So it's not a secret anymore. It is out in the open, and Newt Gingrich was the third in line to the presidency. Okay, so he's a political insider, and he's talking to you about what George Soros is doing, but the mainstream media doesn't even want him to talk about it. Article number 8. This is wild. Momentum is building for basic income as this pandemic, virus, scandemic drags on. Okay, so people are so desperate for money that they're willing to take crumbs from the government. They're willing to accept taking a little allowance every month from the government with no opportunity to make extra money. Okay, so they're desperate. So you get a desperate person desperate, and they're willing to accept anything. It looks better than nothing. Well, as the people are getting open to the idea of a basic income, like the government is going to take care of them, this is from day before yesterday. U.S. billionaires' wealth grew by $845 billion during the past 6 months of this pandemic. So while they're getting the average American open to the idea of, I don't know, $1,000 a month, they've gotten $845 billion richer during this lockdown. All of their companies have benefited from this. And we all know the world is a corporation. They've got us locked down and dependent on them, and we are peasants that they'll just throw a few little crumbs to. And article number 10 is very important. Actor Jim Chevelles, I don't know how to say his last name, but you know the guy that played in the Passion of the Christ. Cancel culture aims to cancel Christianity, starring in a new drama, Infidel, spotlighting persecution of believers. Actor Jim Chevelles, known for playing Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, is starring in a Middle East thriller about Christian persecution that he believes is particularly relevant at this moment. It's relevant because we have this thing called cancel culture, And if Christians don't watch out, it will be counseling Christianity as well, he said in an interview Thursday with Fox's News' Shannon Bream. The movie opening Friday in theaters is Infidel. It's a Middle East thriller in which Chevelle plays an American Christian who is kidnapped while attending a conference in Cairo and ends up in Iran facing spying charges. In the interview, he chastised Christian leaders who say nothing about rioters defacing churches and tearing down statues and allowing their meetings to be shut down by coronavirus edicts. This is where the persecution starts, he said, when leaders don't stand up. So, we are in the New World Order. We are in the New World Order. We are in the destruction of the old world order and the rising of the new, where we're all poor slaves, controlled by the government, watched in real time, but should be grateful that we got higher speed internet and we get a few little crumbs from our masters. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.